stay super as long as you stay awesome. And welcome to Season 8. I decided that with my own personal transitions, I believe a new outfit after 8 years is deserving. So, what do y'all think? Does it suit me? That being said, let's take a look at one of the most requested movies. The Adventures of Sharkboy and Lavagirl. Written by the Rodriguez brothers, The Adventures of Sharkboy and Lavagirl in 3D was a 2005 kids film by Dimension Films and Columbia Pictures using technology similar to Robert Rodriguez's more successful franchise Spy Kids, with the film focused heavily on using 3D as its selling point. The film stars Taylor Dooley, George Lopez, David Arquette, and began the career of Taylor Lautner, despite him choosing not to come back for the Netflix sequel. I personally find the film terrible because of how bad the effects are and the fact that 90% of the film is done in front of a green screen, as if you couldn't tell. So let's take a look at one of my least favorite superhero films of all time, Sharkboy and Lavagirl. We begin with a quote from Lavagirl talking about dreams, and we learn that the movie is based on an idea of Racer Max, the director's son. If I wrote a movie based off of my kids' ideas, we'd get Poopy Man and Diarrhea Girl. We dive into narration from our main character, Max, explaining Sharkboy's backstory as a marine biologist's son who is caught in the first Sharknado and separated from his father, stranded in the ocean, and ends up being taken in by the sharks he took care of, somehow gaining gills, claws, and fins. Because, you know, randomly growing gills with no explanation at all and becoming part shark is just something that we humans can do now. Years later, Max finds Sharkboy and gives him a place to live. We then meet Lavagirl, who just demands that Sharkboy goes to Planet Drool with her, and we then learn that it was a written story idea by Max, and the entire class, including the teacher, insults him for using his imagination instead of writing about a real event.
This summer, I met a new friend who was half dork, half boy. I called him Dork Boy.
So, is Dork Boy half whale penis? The teacher, played by George Lopez, disciplines Linus for his cruelty, but then turns around and tells Max to stop dreaming and focus on real life and school. Linus then becomes even more of a textbook kids movie bully and chases Max through a park to try to steal his dream journal.
Now, Mommy, Daddy, but...
That night, Max wakes up from his sleep to find footprints leading to half-eaten cookies, which his parents, of course, don't believe in him, that it wasn't him, despite his father claiming he does believe him. The next morning, Max's father tries to cheer him up by bringing out a robot they had been building, but Max says he gave up on making it as his mom walks him to school.
The grass was dead anyway.
Why are you so morbid?
I would be just as morbid if every person in my life was telling me to give up on all of my dreams and that dreaming gets you nowhere. I hate this type of story because it basically tells children to not rely on their imagination. And I just don't want my kids thinking stuff like that. Max attempts to be nice to a classmate, only to get told not to talk to the teacher's daughter right before Max gets into it with Linus, because after getting the journal, Max realizes that Linus destroyed his book. And of course, instead of the teacher punishing the one doing the bullying, the one being bullied is blamed. The tornado then gets stronger as it blows the windows open as our heroes burst through looking for Max.
Max, come with us.
Okay, just stop burning all my homework! I am a nerd after all! Max is hesitant at first, but the two heroes remind him that they need his help to defeat the darkness. The film then brings in the 3D aspects by bringing out the goggles and glasses you'd be given, and the trio jump into using a spaceship landing on the planet Drool. Max is still doubtful of everything, and the heroes explain what has happened to the planet and where they need to go.
That's where your dreams are going bad. We have to go there and reverse it.
We'll have to travel through the passage of time, catch the train of thought, swim down the stream of consciousness, and skate across the sea of confusion, now covered in ice.
Who's the guy you need to know when you've got a place to go? What's my name?
The heroes question what they can do in order to save the world before the darkness shows up and makes them run around to Mount Neverest, where we see kids are trapped in a never-ending roller coaster and they all jump into action in order to save the children, and they want to look for Mr. Electric.
They're not raising their hands. They're all upside down.
Oh, silly me! We then meet one of the villains named Mr. Electric as he hijacks the coaster and brings it to the center of his hideout.
Hey, and fun!
And that MODOK parody is just kind of creepy! Mr. Electric summons an army of plugs to attack our hero as Lavagirl attacks Mr. Electric. Once all the plugs are dealt with, the heroes try to take the villain down, but Max has no idea how to remember any of his dreams, and they are dropped off into the dream graveyard. The three of them debate over what to do, and we learn that Max has no idea where his dream journal even is. We then meet the real villain that appears as a giant blue entity.
Where old dreams lie, he could find an ally. I told you.
Lavagirl tries to get Max to dream a way out, but all he thinks about is food. This pisses off Sharkboy, and he threatens to knock Max out. The trio then finds Max's robot Tobor, who, after giving them advice, helps them escape to their destination, by them literally taking them to the train of thought. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just looking up, better movies than this. Like The Adventures of Fart Man that never happened. I'm so bored! Tobor leaves our heroes on the train, but they have no idea how to drive it.
What do we do?
Yell. Scream.
That line delivery was great. Good job for you. They eventually just jump out of the train and land in the land of milk and cookies, and two giants, played by Max's parents, just show up, eat the cookie they are on, and walk away. No reason, no point, just more padding to make the movie a little bit longer and waste more of our goddamn time. But now, once again, it's time to try to get Max to fall asleep.
Stay fast asleep, dream a dream, you little bleep.
What's going on?
Just relax, lay about, or my fist will put you out.
Why is he rapping out of nowhere?
I'm beware, there's darkness in the air. Dream, dream, dream.
God, where's Freddy Krueger when you need him? After that rapping nightmare, Mr. Electric sends the plug hounds on the trio, where Sharkboy handles his own, but Lavagirl is quickly trapped while Max tries, but is shocked. Lavagirl melts her body and becomes a creepy pink blob with a head as Max tries to daydream and dreams up a banana split boat to help them escape and begin the path down the stream of consciousness. The three of them try to figure out what their next path is as Max uses LG's finger to show them the crystal heart that he saw in his dream. Meanwhile, Lavagirl seems to hate the Ice Princess, but they head to see her anyway until they come to a bridge and Lavagirl is forced to sleepwalk in order to get across.
Touch! No, Lavagirl! Don't sneeze!
Do you need some Mucinex? As Lavagirl tries to sleepwalk her way across, the plug hounds catch up with them, making her angrily wake up and run across the bridge until the three of them are finally captured. We learn that, of course, the main villain is Linus, and now going by Minus, who does the cheesiest villain speech since the 60s Batman, tormenting all of them before dropping them in a birdcage. But it's not long before random smiling faces come into the cage and their singing becomes so obnoxiously annoying it makes Sharkboy rage out and give them an escape.
Shark frenzy!
Why is this random act of rage just making me think of Mystery Men? The three of them escape and quietly steal the dream journal back, and Max becomes mentally happier as his dreams start slowly coming back to him. Sharkboy learns that his father is still alive. Lavagirl, however, gets way too excited and ends up destroying the book, causing a massive depression episode. They eventually get her okay as they head to the Ice Princess, finding the crystal heart. Sharkboy fails to grab, so Max tries and also drops it. Wait a second, so when Lavagirl touches it, she becomes solid ice. But when Max touches it, absolutely nothing happens. Yeah, think that crystal's sexist? Guards appear from nowhere and gather the trio around the Ice Princess, and our heroes do what they can in order to get her help, including winning the real crystal heart as she tests his loyalty. Then they use Lavagirl as a boat and try to use the crystal, but when it doesn't work, Sharkboy is baited by Mr. Electric.
You know, watts, as in a measure of electrical power. The 60-watt bulb? What?
This isn't funny!
Sharkboy is then attacked by electric eels, and Lavagirl is forced to jump into the water to save him, despite her becoming weak due to the cold. Tobor comes back to give words of wisdom, and Sharkboy returns the life-saving favor as he runs into a volcano, reviving Lavagirl and giving her enough power to push away the darkness.
Stand back. You are light.
This somehow awakens all of Max's real powers, and he goes to take on Minus, and we get the final fight of Dreamers with bubble-cased piranhas, butterflies, brains, and whatever the fuck this head expansion shit balloon is. Max then literally tries to build a bridge of friendship to Minus, but the bridge collapses before they can shake on it.
Don't let me fall!
Wouldn't dream of it.
The heroes celebrate their victories as Minus promises everything will be better, but Mr. Electric is not happy that things are not going the way he wants them to, so he heads out of the dream into the real world, bringing a huge tornado with him, which almost destroys Max's parents, but they are saved by Sharkboy and Lavagirl. The kids all come up with ideas to stop Mr. Electric as Max hands Marissa the crystal heart and she freezes him.
See?
Wow, you just aren't paying attention in class, are you?
Our movie then ends with the kids playing in the snow. Max reunites with his family, and we get an ending narration epilogue of how the heroes are doing with their lives, and that it takes a dream to become a reality. The film majorly flopped within the US, only making $39 million on a $50 million budget, despite making $69 million worldwide. Reviews of the film are clearly mixed, but mostly negative, and a trademark case led by Total Nonstop Action over the name of Sharkboy lost the company $200,000. I honestly do not see why people like this movie. It's badly animated, it is a terrible plot, and oh my god is the acting terrible. But finally sat through it, so join me next week as we go into this year's Gamuary. As this year, we are going to take a look at my personal favorite video game movies. So, I'll see you next week. I'm your superhero critic, and I'll stay super as long as you stay awesome.